Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today at ISTE? Can I get a big ISTE? Yeah! I didn't hear anybody over there. Can we get a hello ISTE from everybody? Oh, it's our third day here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our presentation. Today, we're going to be having an interactive presentation all about creative ways to use Google presentations in their classroom. Now, let me ask you, how many of you people here are Google people? How many of you guys have Google Apps for Education in their school district? Excellent. How many of you guys are using Google Apps with your students? How many of you guys are looking to create some amazing projects with your students? We're going to be sharing a lot of our ideas today. We're going to be sharing a lot of our experiences today. Today's not just about giving information. Today's really about sharing information. So if you're somebody out there who has some creative ways that they might have used some Google products, such as the presentations, I'd like to hear about it. I'd like to have everybody share about it. Let me give you a little bit of information here. My name is Jeff Bradbury. I'm an educator. I'm a music teacher from North Jersey, from North Brunswick Township High School. And you might be thinking, what does a music teacher have anything to do with Google? Well, there's a lot of things that we can do with Google. If you're looking to get some information about me, you can find me on our website, teachercast.net. And of course, you can reach out on Twitter at teachercast. How do I get this thing off of here? How do I get this off? I don't know. There it is. So we're looking at Google Apps today. How many of you guys said you have Google Apps? Really, the majority. How many people are looking to learn more about Google Apps? If you are, this is a great session for you, and I also recommend that you head on to the other end of this platform and you talk to either the Googlers or the teachers that are here. They're here to help you, and they're here to provide some great resources for you. So why presentations? Why would you be interested in looking at presentations? Well, first of all, we're here to think about a box, and we're here to think a little bit outside of a box. Why use Google presentations? Why not use some of those other more popular presentation tools that we all know, we all love, and are always jammed into our laptops every time that we get them? We all know which ones I'm talking about, right? We don't have to use those words here. It's okay. They're over in the other booth. Well, first of all, Google Apps and Google presentations are free. How many people here like free? It's my favorite word. I love it when people scream. Let's hear the word free. Say free. Oh, come on, you're teachers. How many people here are teachers? Educators, administrators? All right, you guys like the word too. Here we go. Give me free on three. 1, 2, 3. Free. Awesome. Not only is it what? Free. But it imports documents from other places. If you are using those files from that other company over there, do we know which one I'm talking about? The one that's not, right? Not, okay. By the way, Google presentations are? Excellent. It does import that. If you're using any of the legacy products from that big box company over there, it is absolutely compatible with that. Not only on importing, but also once you make your, what was it again? Presentation, it also exports so you can use your presentations in those other non-problems. Now, you can also take your presentations and you can output them to PDF, that other thing over there, and also you can create text documents with them. So there's a lot of stuff here. Real-time viewing. Why is this important? Because you can be creating a worksheet for your kids, and they can be working on it together. I'm going to show you today some amazing creative tools that I've done with my kids, all because it was available to all of my kids at the same time, and it was? Free. Oh, you guys are dying on me. One more time. It was? Free. I like this lady right here in the front row. It is remote accessible. So what does that mean? You don't have to be tethered to your house. You don't have to be tethered to your workstation. How many people here do their work on the plane, on the boat, on the train, on the office? You can do this stuff wherever you want. It is publishable, and my favorite part, it is embeddable. I'm one of those teachers that likes to make up their own websites. I have all of my presentations that are all embeddable on my website. In fact, if you were to go to TeacherCast right now and you were to look up this very presentation, you'll see all of my show notes, and you'll also see my embeddable Google presentation right there. Whenever I do my lessons in my orchestra class or my music theory class, every website has all of the lessons, all of the notes, and also the slides right there. The kids do not have to go very far to get this information. And the best part about it, everybody, it is? All right, you guys are on fire today. So here's the first question. I know some people have used Google Presentations, some people have not used Google Presentations. I want to go through really quickly, what is it, how do I get it, and how do I use it? Going to escape out of here. First of all, in order to create a new Google presentation, you sign into Google Drive. You have to have your Gmail account. You can sign into Google Presentations. As you can see here, they have about a dozen or so very, very lovely themes. I'm going to hit, this theme right here. And it's going to give me a slide deck, and it's going to give me a master slide. Now, I have a lot of options here. I can change the background of the slide. I can change the slide layout. I can put text. I can put pictures. The best part about this is not only that it is free, but it works with all of the Google products. So if you want to embed movies into this, it's really, really a snap. How many people are using YouTube movies in their presentations, in their lessons? How many people find it very, very difficult to embed movies into some place else that you like to use on those walls? Can I get a holler out of that one? Absolutely. It is ridiculous. It is impossible. But through these, you can actually embed the Google movies through YouTube on here, embed it into a website, and you can have a really fun time doing it. But that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about this, in fact. In fact, I don't even want to talk about how to make this into a slideshow. We've all seen the person get up and do a slideshow and a slideshow and a slideshow. That is not creative. That's not why we're here. There are so many other reasons to use this, and using it as an alternative to that other stuff is not one of those. So, let's get back into this. By the way, notice how easy it is to switch between presentations? When I start my classes, I just have tabs opened up on the top, and I open up all of my different free presentations, and so that way when I'm going between lessons or even between classes, everything works very, very quickly. Everything is really, really simple and easy to do. So, I want to tell you a story about my orchestra class. This year, we took a trip, and we took a trip to another high school where we did an adjudication. They got a chance to play, they got a chance to show off different things. How many of you guys do field trips with your kids? How many of you would like to do field trips with your kids? How many of you would like to send your kids on a one-way field trip? Be with me, folks, here. All right, so this is a picture of my orchestra. Now, I love this picture, not only because it was an amazing time and we had a good call, but actually right now, my kids are graduating. That's right. My kids right now are in the middle of the Trenton Arena, and they are graduating. I'm actually lucky to be here right now. But here's what happens. How many of you guys do the traditional, let's write a thank you note? How many of you guys have had your kids write thank you notes, whether it be thank you for the trip, thank you, Mom and Dad, thank you for bringing cookies in? Here's a really cool idea for you, and I want to get your eyes and your ears spinning. The neat part about Google Collaborations is it is something that can be done in real time. You can take this just like a Google Doc can. You can open it up for the world. You can open it up for many, many collaborators. I want to show you a Google presentation that really isn't a presentation. You see, we came up with this concept of teaching my kids that my school has no walls. There are no walls in my classroom. They are teaching not only themselves, but they're teaching the world. Now, I want to show you something here that those other big boxes can't do. I'm going to click on this. Now, that one presentation is still being used in full screen in real time. In fact, if I clicked on the tab, it'll go back to real time. But this right here is taking you to a presentation that I did through my school account. And once it pops up here, you're going to see a presentation that all of my kids did at the same time collaboratively. I'll tell you, after doing that trip, I didn't want to do anything with my kids the next day. How many of you guys have had that issue? No one's admitting to it? Okay, good. But you all have been there, right? So what we decided to do is we decided to make a thank you card. We decided to take these Google presentations and give kids a bunch of slides. Now, here is our slide deck, and as you can see here, this slide says, "Dear Maestro Lamb, you are a great influence on the orchestra." They each took the concept of creating a thank you note, and we put it into a Google presentation. Think about that. Now, what was happening while this was going on was I had my computer lab, and we had 30 kids. You know, we had our 30-kid orchestra times three classes. They were each creating this thank you note. They did thank you notes, and again, I'm going to do a presentation here. They did thank you notes for working with us as the conductor. They put pictures into this presentation. If I come back here, here's some more pictures. They did thank you notes to the high school that we were visiting. Here's some more pictures. This is one of my favorite. This is my concert master. He's actually graduating right now. I'm going to really, really miss him. But the best part about this is, if I go to the very, very front, I hope the sound's not too loud on this. But we put the video on here. So when we sent this to the conductor up at Montclair State, and when we sent this to the parents, and better yet, when I sent this to my... Ladies and gentlemen, my orchestra. They don't sound that good when I'm conducting them. You get the idea, right? It's using Google Presentations for something other than the traditional, whatever that word is that we're not allowed to speak over here, right? This doesn't necessarily have the ability to keep going because it is a slide that's running a YouTube video. Now, here's the cool part. Here's the rub. While my kids were doing this, on the top, just like a Google Doc, it shows you how many people are there. You guys don't understand what I'm talking about. While they were doing this, I was monitoring them. I was at my teacher desk. I was on the Google Doc. I was helping. Now, on the side here, you saw on the slide deck, when other people are looking at the presentation, it tells you how many people are there or how many eyes are on that slide. So the neat part about that is they're collaborating. Somebody actually types out, hey, check out slide number 8. Suddenly, everyone's on slide number 8 collaborating, adding things. But let's go back to the world. Let's go back to the fact that there are no walls in our classroom. Up on top of the presentation, you can see, if I hit the escape button here, if there was more people in here, it would have the number of whatever. My favorite part of the day was one of my kids said, Mr. Bradbury, why are there 75 people in this room? I said, well, while you've been doing this, I've been tweeting out, hey, would you guys like to see what the mind of a teenager looks like? Would you like to see my kids take a blank slide and completely turn this into like 120 slides, by the way. This is what a teenager can do. This is how nice a teenager is. I didn't tell them what to write. Thank you for helping enhance our playing skills. My kids don't talk to me that way, but it's a really, really neat thing that they did here. Isn't this a really cool way of being collaborative? Can you put this into your own curriculum? Really, really neat stuff. Let's go back to our original slide here. So that's just one way. It's not a whatever that's called over there. By the way, the best part about this is it is free. I like these two down here. So now, let's see if I can do this. Return to full screen. Good. Now, this idea here isn't mine. Okay? In December, October or so, I was accepted into the Google Teacher Academy program, which if you haven't looked into that, you need to talk to somebody about doing that. Okay, I met somebody named Eric Kurtz. He's an IT director or director of technology. He's a podcaster. He's from Ohio. He gave me this idea for a really neat creative project with Google Presentations to create something that incorporates visual and written information, but most importantly, it helps students writing skills and is a fun activity. It's creating your own comic strips. How do you do that? It's very simple. You take some copywritten information. You take a picture that you happen to use yourself, all right? And simply by putting up thought bubbles, you can create some pretty cool stuff. Now, he put together a presentation called Robot and Penguin. I'm not going to tell you which is which, but here's an idea of having a presentation where you make your slides, you add the different thought bubbles and stuff, and I'll just kind of run you through this here. And this is just something creative. Can you do this with an elementary school? Absolutely. Can you do this with a high school? Absolutely. Heck, can you use this for a grad school presentation? Absolutely. So this here shows you the story of Robot and Penguin. I think Robot's the one on the left. And he says, hey, what are you doing? And then he says, why don't you have a book on your head? And then Penguin says, well, it's for science class, so I thought osmosis might work. Okay, and here's a lesson on osmosis. It's not being used as the traditional slides, right? So this is another way to use free technology to teach a skill. Pretty creative, right? Can you think of ways that you can use this in your own curriculum? If not, talk to the person to the left, right? Introduce yourself. All right, so here's another couple things here. Scrapbooking. This is something that everybody can look at. A scrapbook is essentially pictures and text, right? So why not do something like this and put together a scrapbook? These are some friends of mine. And essentially, you're just picking a theme or picking a color, adding it together. You can put this on your website. You can put this on, whatever. Forget the word scrapbook. Parents are coming in for back to school night, and you have a presentation automatically running with pictures from the year, maybe some bad grades that they've done. If you really want to have a good time at back to school night, put up all the D's and the F's on the presentation. That will really give the parents something to talk to your kids about when you're done. Now, I'm going to end with this because this is super, super cool. Again, I'm not taking credit for this because I have no idea how they did this, but use presentations for animations. Animations are so hot right now. Be creative. You can use them as a flip book. It's good for screencasting. How many people here have done some kind of screencasting? I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. Screencasting, by the way, is free. There you go. But most importantly, it's collaborative. Now, I did a little PLN search while preparing for this. And I said, look, I really need some ideas about people being collaborative, people being creative. I don't know what to do about this. I just have this idea for this thank you card thing. What else do you guys have? I was given this. This was actually done a few years ago by somebody. It is amazing. It's about 2 minutes, but I want to just do this, and then we'll do a little round of Q&A. But this is an amazing thing that your students can do with Google presentations. Yeah. All done with Google presentations. Pretty cool, right? So as you can see, it's not just a tool to create some slideshows. Now, administrators, the first day of school is coming up. This is your challenge. Create something amazing like this for your teachers. I want to say thank you very much for your time. I have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to ask. Let me start over on that one. If you have any questions, you can find me over here. I'll be at the Google booth for the next hour or so. I'd love to talk to you guys. I'd love to meet you. And if you guys have any creative ideas about how to use Google presentations, I'd love to hear from you. My name is Jeff Bradbury. You can find me on Twitter @TeacherCast. Thank you so much for your time.